Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the Techno-Organic jungle. And I just want to let you know before you get way too excited, it probably ain't what you think it is. So aside from being the password to a sketchy hole-in-the-wall club, our first exposure to the Techno-Organic jungle took place in July of 1966 in issue number 52 of the Fantastic Four. So now the Techno jungle serves a number of different purposes. In its first appearance, it was mainly used by T'Challa to test the Fantastic Four, proving them first to be a worthy opponent before he opened up his resources and his country to them. So now this jungle has been a family project in the works that began somewhere in the 1920s, before 1930 definitely, and it was first built by Azari the Wise, who is T'Chaka's father and T'Challa's grandfather. And so one thing that really plays into the favor of every Black Panther, and which gives them a huge advantage over pretty much every city in the world, and it's that each Black Panther inherits the memory, the skills, and the wisdom of previous Black Panthers. So T'Challa, for example, accumulating a number of different degrees, a PhD in physics from Oxford University, engineering, economics, political science, and psychology. He's sharing this knowledge with decades of other well-educated Panthers down his bloodline. And it's that knowledge he can distribute to his staff and continue to advance the Techno jungle generation after generation. And as far as the location of the Techno jungle, it's said to be located around central Wakanda. So I'd say it'd be somewhere around here, because aside from the top side of the jungle that we briefly talked about that appeared in Fantastic Four issue number 52, there's also a subterranean level that runs miles and miles of fiber optic cables. And I feel like the best analogy for this would have to be like the Bat Cave. Like if the Bat Cave was the size of 2 cities, then it would be this. And with the jungle being so huge, there's a huge staff working underneath the ground 24 hours around the clock for T'Challa. Like in this image here, we see Taku, who is Minister of Communications. So if you in Wakanda, you dial 0, he gonna pick up. But no, seriously, there's a chance he might even be in the film, because in the comics, he is also an ambassador for Wakanda in the New York embassy. And so now we also get a good look at the Techno jungle in the issue of Cable number 54, when Cable crash landed in Wakanda, and T'Challa helped him out because they didn't know each other, but they knew of each other, with T'Challa being an Avenger, and just him being aware of the X-Men and their affiliations as well. But he showed Cable one of the many secret entrances to the sub-levels of the Techno-Organic jungle. And it's in this issue that we actually see how T'Challa and the workers get around underneath there, which is through like a pod type of transport, because it would take forever to literally try to walk around from one spot to the next. But T'Challa's reason for showing Cable around the Techno jungle was mainly to explain some politics to him. And while explaining those politics, he also mentions vibranium, which is really the source of their prosperity for Wakanda, or their financial prosperity, I should say. And he also shows him here that underneath the Techno jungle is where they literally work on and study vibranium to find out new innovating uses for it. And so I want to go back to the map for a second. The reason why I chose this area for the Techno-Organic jungle, for my assumption to where it is, first will be because they say it's in central Wakanda. Second will be because it either needs to be next to or underneath the Great Mound. And the Great Mound is that large meteor of vibranium that's been in Wakanda for over 10,000 years. And so when you add a new element to the periodic table and give it to a people who pass down knowledge from generation to generation, there's no wonder they're the most advanced civilization on the planet. And my third reason for choosing this location would be because every city in Wakanda is named after a previous Black Panther. So directly on the Great Mound, you have Mena Enyai, which is the name of the Black Panther who witnessed the meteor coming to Earth and actually survived that event. Like, look at the size of that thing. But aside from that, you go south a little bit, and you have Burning Azaria. Now, this city is named after Azari the Wise, who I mentioned earlier is the Black Panther who created the Techno-Organic jungle. So it only makes sense geographically to have that located underneath his city and between that and the Great Mound. And then the top side technological foliage will be the blank triangles that we see to the left, over to the west of Burning Azaria, representing the above ground portion of the Techno-Organic jungle. And now you guys really don't understand, I have extremely high hopes of seeing this in February of next year when the film comes out. And there really hasn't been any confirmations of it, but the concept art looks a lot like what you would imagine the entrance to the Techno jungle to look like. But even if we don't get it in Black Panther, hopefully we'll get it in Infinity Wars or possibly a sequel to Black Panther. Because also in the comics, the tone of the Techno jungle was always meant to have like a horror type of theme to it. Like Everett Ross described it to have like a Stanley Kubrick crossed with a James Cameron type of vibe to it. Because for example, when the Fantastic Four first arrived there, they were amazed at its beauty and its advancement in technology, but still, Mr. Fantastic was very hesitant and very cautious about the idea of entering this place. Because with its advancement, it's very concealing, allowing Black Panther to be seen only when he wants to be seen. Just like an actual jungle. And it's only the Black Panthers who are connected through the bloodline who really know this place from top to bottom. Because even in the brief time that Killmonger was Black Panther, he felt like the Avengers were being led into a trap, but he didn't know for certain because he can't access the Techno jungle like T'Challa or his fathers before him. Because full access to the jungle and all of its secrets are exclusive to T'Challa and the memories of his family bloodline. And this was a huge help for T'Challa at one point where the Panther goddess Bast stripped him of his power, but he still needed to fight. So he ended up using the Techno jungle as a home court advantage to give himself a fighting fighting chance. Because even without his strength, his mind has always been his greatest weapon. But that'll do it for this one, guys. Hopefully you guys who weren't familiar with the Techno Jungle are more familiar with it now going forward. And also I really want to know, who else is it? Is it just me? But who else is excited to see this in Black Panther film? Or who else is in hopes to see it, I should say. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments below, or share any thoughts or questions you may have as well on the Techno-Organic Jungle. But aside from that, be sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, later.